Hi, Ollie.
Hi.
Some injury updates. Is Lukaku fit to play? How's Lindelof after the other night?
Lindelof's fine, and Lukaku won't be fit. No, he's been working with the physios the last few days, so I don't think he'll make this one either.
Do you regret at all bringing him out here? Has it still been worth it to bring him here if he's not going to have to play this way?
Well, he got injured in training, so he had to stay here. If it's not too bad, then if it was worse, we would have sent him home. But he's been working with the physios in the gym and stuff, so no.
刚才记者提问，第一个问题是关于一些伤员的伤病问题的。首先是卢卡库，还有是林德洛夫这两位球员，他们现在的伤病恢复的如何？第一呢，就是卢卡库他现在是还没有完全伤愈，所以呢，他应该是这次还是不能参加比赛。但是林德洛夫的话是没有什么大问题的。后来记者就问说，那您觉得您把卢卡库这次带到中国来，然后是否后悔？其实我不会后悔，因为他是在训练的时候受伤的。那如果说他真的是情况非常不好的话，我们就把他送回家了。但是他现在正在积极的恢复体能，所以并没有什么后悔的。
Hi, Ollie. It's been a very positive tour so far. Team playing well. I know you said you're working on one or two more signings, but if you weren't to get any more players in, would you be confident with the current squad you've got of moving up the table and having a successful season?
Well, I believe in these players. I'm sure that we could do well, but it's both short term and long term. So of course, when we're working on something, that means that we've identified something that could improve us. If it's to be or not to be, let's see. But these players, as you said, we've played well, we've performed well, we've had some good results, and the whole pre-season so far has been encouraging. But it's not about winning games in pre-season. It's about finding a way that we want to play, and it's getting to the starting line with as many as possible in as good a shape as possible, and the team to be gelling.
的问题是针对之后的计划，请问主帅，您觉得之后会不会签一些新的队员？如果不签的话，现在的阵容您是否是有信心之后能够赢得比赛？回答：我现在是非常相信我的队员们的，我觉得他们表现也就非常的不错。当然要从长期来看，要看他们具体的训练情况，我们在场上要看他们具体的表现。未来的话我们还说不清，但是呢，我觉得现在的阵容还是非常的不错的，而且在季前的这种友谊赛中，我们的最主要的目标也不是为了赢得比赛，而是要踢出自己的方式和风格来，然后能够让球员们准备好之后的比赛，在体能上能够有所储备。
I believe it does seem very different to a lot of other pre-seasons we've been on in terms of the intensity of the games. Is that with the idea of hit the ground running against Chelsea?
Yeah, I think it's important that we, as I've said before, start well, because you give yourself a chance then if you have a good start. But then again, it feels like a little bit of a new start. We want to find a way of a style that we want to play on the front foot, so it has to start sometime. And it's easier in pre-season than in the middle of a season. Of course, we spoke about this over the course of the last 6 months as well, and we're laying a foundation both mentally and physically, and with like a team building. The tour's been very good as a team building one as well.
他的问题是对于现在这么高强度的训练，您是为了之后对战切尔西做准备吗？回答：其实所有的训练呢都是非常的重要的。就像我刚才讲的，如果我们在季前赛的时候能够一开始就准备很好，就会获得更多的机会。现在呢，我们是在努力发展新的打法、新的方式。我们也希望能够尽早的让球员们能够达到体能的最好的状态。那我觉得在现在准备好，总比在之后中间的时候再去调整会好很多。这也是在过去几个月中我们都在努力做的事情。我们想在心态和体能上都给球员打好基础。我觉得像这种去各个国家的这种环球的学习的话，也是很好的团队建设的方式。
Hi Ollie.
Hi.
going back to the transfer market, any frustration that you've not been able to get more over the line? I mean, we've seen Aaron and Daniel, for example, come in and hit the ground running, but sometimes it's not easy to acclimatise being a Manchester United player. Would you have liked more in to get them used to being, at Manchester United?
It will take time for any player to adjust to Man United. Apart from me, it took me 6 minutes in the first game. It's. I'm very happy with the two that you've mentioned, and we've got to be patient because it's a long haul, and it's very important we get the right ones in, and that's so we can't just jump on when you hit a hurdle and jump on a different path. So no, my feelings, I've not had a frustrating feeling at all.
关于转会市场上，现在已经有新签署了2名新的球员的加入，万比萨卡和詹姆斯。那这2名球员他们在加入曼联之后，是否能够很好的适应？回答：确实，我们所有的队员在加入曼联的时候呢，都是需要一些的时间去适应的。您刚才所讲的这2位球员，他们也是非常的有耐心，他们适应的也都非常的好。我们球队呢也是很有耐心的，我们希望在准确的时机能够得到有正确的人选，这个是不能急功近利的事情，所以现在我觉得没有什么困扰。
Question from Shanghai Evening News for the manager. So we know that Manchester has a huge base of fans in China, and when you were a football player with the team, you've been to Shanghai for several times. So what is your most memorable moment in Shanghai? And till now, this week when you come here, what is the most impressive moment? Thank you.
I remember it's almost 20 years ago when I was here. I scored 2 goals, which was fantastic for me as a player. Of course, I've changed as well, and the city of Shanghai has changed. It's as I said before in an event, it's a majestic city. It's got everything you'd want for in a city. And for me as a manager now, to see all the fans outside the training ground or the stadiums we've been training on, the hotel, we know that we have many fans here. So I hope we could repay by playing a good game tomorrow, but also showing who we are as human beings when you sign autographs and you take pictures with them.
刚才的问题是对主帅的，您之前是有来过几次中国，然后相比起以前的经历，本周来的话有什么不同的经历？在20多年前吧，我是第一次来到中国，然后当时的话我是以球员的身份过来的，而且我当时有2粒进球，所以我是非常开心的。当然，在这么长时间以来呢，我自己发生了很多改变，上海这个城市也是发生了很多改变，这也是我之前所提到的。我觉得上海是一个非常伟大、非常美好的城市。现在我是以教练的身份，然后来会见的各个球迷们。我们在酒店还有在训练场上都看到了各种支持我们的球迷们。我觉得对他们最好的回馈方式，就是在明天的比赛中能够表现良好。我们也希望能够与更多的人能够去签名、合照等等。
Good afternoon, Scott and Ollie. I won't ask you how impressed you were with the translator. One for each of you. Firstly, Scott, how intense has this pre-season been compared to other pre-seasons? I mean, I know you don't have many, but in terms of the level that the manager's asking, and also Ollie, with the restructuring of the academy, how more streamlined or easier is it going to be for young talent like Scott to come through in the next 4 to 5 years?
Yeah, of course, we've had pre-seasons before in the first team, and it has been very different, and I think everybody can see that in the training that we've had. And I was lucky enough to experience a Warren Joyce pre-season as well, so I was ready. I knew what to expect from that this year, and obviously it's important for me to try and hit the ground running and do the best you can in training. We've had a real positive reaction from every single player in the group, and it's about putting that into the matches now. It's about the small details and different things that we can improve on as a group and take that into the matches in the season upcoming.
先问第一个问题是针对球员的，您觉得现在的这个季前准备和以前的热身比赛是有什么不同？然后是否强度更加强了？回答：确实，现在的这个热身赛呢，比以前是不太一样的。我们可以看到每个人都是在积极的训练， 然后我们也希望能够通过这样的季前热身赛呢，能够让自己在体能上得到最充分的准备。我们也努力在每一场训练中都表现出最好的自己。然后在队友中，我们也获得了积极的回应。我们希望能够在小的细节方面，然后努力的提升，然后以团队的这个集体的力量去提升。
Scott.
Just sorry. No, Scott is a good example on what we expect from our youngsters, or what we hope from our youngsters. Of course, he's being patient. I hope he's going to break through properly this season, or I'm sure he's going to have a great impact on the team. And with Nicky now having the job that it'll be more. Nicky knows what we want from players. He knows what the demands are and the standards are for young players coming through. There's always been a big void since I was at the club when I took the reserves. How is the pathway going to be from under 18s till first team? It's a difficult one. We've got different examples, but we are based on. This club has been based on. Young players coming through, and we will always rely on kids coming through, and Nick is going to be in charge of that.
第二个问题是针对主帅的，在未来对于一些年轻的球员的计划，比如说像斯科特这样年轻的球员，未来5-6年的计划是什么？回答确实，斯科特他就能是做一个非常好的年轻球员的案例，然后因为他展现出来的是非常强的耐心，我也希望在下一个赛季他们能有更好的突破。其实呢，我觉得他们在球队的影响也是非常的积极的，尤其是我们负责去教这种年轻球员的人呢 ，Nicky 让他也是知道我们选人的标准，然后选人的要求是什么样的。所以我觉得这个是非常不容易的，但是我们也是有一些非常不错的案例，我们也是曼联球队也是非常依赖于年轻的球员的，这是我们之后都会努力的目标。
There we are.
Try again there.
Yeah.
Scott, since that sort of famous class of '92 group came through, there have been players who come through the academy and made the grade, the Fletchers, the Wes Browns, but we haven't really seen as large a group as we're now seeing sort of come through in one go. Is that particularly exciting that there's so many of you that you can bounce off each other? But also, does what the class of '92 did, does that put a lot more extra pressure on players like yourself and Mason, Angel, Axel to flourish and to succeed?
Yeah, obviously that class of '92 was absolutely exceptional, and obviously it's going to be very, very difficult to replicate something like that, and it's going to be more or less impossible. It's such an amazing year for them, but as I say, we've got a good group of young boys who are ready to learn and who are ready to go the extra mile and do everything to try and get in the team and push some really senior pros to get their places, and that's going to be my aim, and that's going to be Axel's aim, Mason as well. So it's important that all the boys come together and have that real solid team spirit that young players always have grown through the age groups from under 9s to under 21s, and that's the most important thing for us.
刚才的问题呢，也是针对于斯科特这个球员未来，关于未来你们的一些 关于未来你们的年轻球员的一些计划，就是比起以前的这个92级的球员来说，然后你们现在觉得对年轻的球员有没有什么新的期待？比如说像这个图安泽贝，还有您本人，还有像格林伍德这样的球员。回答确实，像92级他们这些球员的成绩呢，也是非常的无与伦比，也是非常的难以去复制的。但是也像主帅刚才有提到的，我们现在的年轻球员也都在非常的努力去学习、提升自己。我们也愿意付出一切，然后去努力争取在场上自己的位置。这也包括我自己，还有格林伍德，以及您刚才提到的图安泽贝这些年轻的球员。
Two questions on Scott. First of all, Scott, what's the heat and humidity like to play? It's hard enough to walk around here. So what's it like actually training, particularly playing tomorrow as well?
Yeah, obviously it's one of them ones. As a footballer, you have to go all around the world and play in different places. You go to Spain, places like this, and obviously you come here and it is hot and it's humid. But as I said yesterday, there's a lot of excuses that the lads can make, and to not have a really positive training session, not have a positive sort of end to the first leg of the tour, but everybody's responded so well to the conditions, and it's important that we go out tomorrow night and put everything that we've been working on in training into a match as well.
刚才的问题是针对于球员斯科特，您觉得对于现在的这个环境条件下，然后现在的训练和明天的比赛怎么样？因为我们作为专业的职业球员呢，我们是要去全球，然后去进行各种各样的比赛，然后到现在的这个条件下也是正常的。虽然说这里的天气比较炎热，比较闷热，但是这并不是借口，我们还是要保持积极的心态去努力的训练。我们也希望能够很好的适应这样的条件，希望明天的比赛能够获得好的成绩。
Ollie, I know it might be honest looking outside now, but 4 hours ago when Tottenham were here, it was flooded because there was such a storm. Have you had any word about the pitch? Obviously, we're not playing here tomorrow, but is there any word on the state of the pitch? Because obviously last time United were in China, the match was called off due to the issues surrounding it.
No, I've not heard anything. We got a video from the staff that was here earlier, and it was flooded, but now it's fine, no problem. Of course, the heat has helped us as well. We can't do anything with what he decides upstairs, how much to pour down.
And the stadium tomorrow?
I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, not heard anything. So everything has been spot on so far for us.
刚才的问题是针对于主帅的，因为在几个小时之前呢，热刺也是刚刚来的这里开发布会，然后当时呢是下了很大的雨，然后问一下主帅，您会不会担心球场的这个比赛质量、场地的问题？因为我们知道在之前曼联有来到中国的时候是有面临过场地的问题的。 回答，其实我们之前呢也是收到了有团队发过来的视频，我们确实是看到有很大的雨，但是我觉得现在是都已经解决了，因为刚才天气也非常炎热，这个情况应该已经不再存在了。但是呢，我们是无法决定天气的，我觉得明天的比赛并不会受到影响，现在一切运行的都不错。
Hiya.
I know you said during the tour you'd be happy with the way that Paul was trained and played in the game, but given what he said about his future early in the summer, have you got any concerns about what the fan reaction might be when you get back and play games at Old Trafford?
No, I think our fans know what Paul has given the club and what he can give us, and of course there are some loud, some small minority, and. No, Paul has been absolutely top in the group, and I think both me and the players will testify to that. That he's never ever been a second problem here, and we're just grateful when he performs as well as he does.
刚才的问题呢是对于主帅的，就是关于这个球员保罗·博格巴，然后您之前有提到过说对他的训练还是比较满意的。那在之后回到了特拉福德球场之后呢，你们有什么计划？我觉得他现在是非常的受到欢迎的，他的球迷支持的也很多，当然也是有一小部分人对他是持异议的，但是我觉得他是一个非常优秀的球员，也没有什么问题，未来也是很好的。
Okay, last questions from Paul.
Scott, the manager was talking about team building, team bonding over here. Can you just tell us what you guys have been doing kind of off the pitch to try and get that team spirit improved?
He probably doesn't want to say that in front of me.
Really?
No, obviously we've had a team dinner, and obviously it's nice to get everybody out together and enjoying yourself as a group and having some downtime away from the hotel and playing table tennis and different games like that in the hotel. So obviously it's nice, but we're here to work. We're here to really focus on next season, and we were so disappointed with last season, and now it's about time that we try to get things right. And obviously we've got a tremendous space for that in the coaches and the managers, so it's important that we take all messages on board.
刚才的问题呢是对球员的，在场下足球场下，然后因为刚才主帅有提到过这个团队建设、团队精神，那么在场下你们这位球员是怎么去提升自己的团队的精神和凝聚力的？首先呢，我们当然是有过一些晚餐的聚会，我们在这边在酒店里面也有一起去打乒乓球等活动。但是更重要的，我们是来这边是工作的，然后我们需要关注于下一季的比赛。上一季的比赛中呢，我们是有很多的遗憾和失望，现在我们是希望能够改变这个现状，然后有主帅给我们的鼓励和球员自己的努力，我相信能够改变。
Just on going back to Romelu, he's missed 4 matches here. You've obviously worked on a lot in those 4 matches. How much of a challenge, I guess, will it be for him to kind of get back into that team? when he does get back fit?
Of course, it's never nice to be a player who misses out on important fitness work, but also team building work, as in like team understanding, the tactical approach. So you just have to make up later on then.
再问一下关于这个球员，他因为伤病问题，然后没有能参加前面几场比赛，然后现在他的挑战是会该怎么解决？当然呢，作为球员没有能参加季前的训练或者是这些比赛的话是很遗憾的，他只能是努力的去恢复伤病，然后希望自己之后能够补上来。
Okay, thank you.
I can't really confirm that what she said is right, but I think she deserves a clap, the translator. I'll keep the answer shorter next time.